They came from the icy north, riding sleek longships across treacherous seas. They struck fear into the hearts of monks and kings alike. To some, they were savage raiders. To others, brilliant traders, explorers, and settlers. Who were the Vikings, really? In this video, we're diving into the entire history of the Vikings, from their mysterious beginnings in Scandinavia to their daring voyages across Europe and even to North America, a full journey through one of the most misunderstood chapters in history. So, sharpen your axes, set your sails, and let's raid through the centuries. When most people think of Vikings, they imagine horned helmets, fire, and blood. But truth is, they were more than just raiders. The word Viking itself isn't even an ethnic label. It comes from the Old Norse vikinger, meaning pirate or sea raider. These were seafaring Norse people from modern-day Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, and they lived in a cold, rugged land where survival required strength, skill, and a little help from the gods. But here's the twist. Most Norse people weren't warriors. They were farmers, blacksmiths, and fishermen. Some ran thriving trade routes. Others worshipped gods like Odin, Thor, and Freya, practicing pagan rituals under the northern lights. So why did they suddenly burst onto the world stage like a storm? It all began in 793 AD, with a brutal attack on the monastery of Lindisfarne off the coast of England. The Christian world was stunned. Who were these ruthless sea warriors who struck from nowhere? That attack marks the beginning of the Viking Age, a period of roughly 250 years, from 793 to 1066 AD. Why now? A few reasons. Population growth in Scandinavia strained local resources. Advances in shipbuilding meant long-distance travel was possible. And European kingdoms were fragmented, weak, and ripe for plundering. But here's the kicker. They weren't just mindless raiders. They were also explorers, merchants, and settlers. For every village they burned, there was another they built. Vikings didn't just raid. They expanded in all directions. To the west, they struck England, Scotland, and Ireland. Dublin, a Viking city. York, a Viking hub. To the east, Swedish Vikings, called Varangians, traveled deep into Russia, trading down the rivers all the way to Constantinople. Some even became elite bodyguards for the Byzantine emperors. To the south, they reached North Africa and the Mediterranean, trading goods, slaves, and weapons. And to the northwest, they pushed the limits of the known world. They colonized Iceland, settled Greenland under the leadership of Eric the Red. And around 1000 AD, a Viking named Leif Erikson, Eric's son, landed on a mysterious new shore. That's right, North America. 500 years before Columbus. They called it Vinland. Today, we believe it was somewhere in Newfoundland, Canada. They didn't stay long, but they were the first Europeans to set foot on the American continent. So, what was Viking life really like? Despite the violent image, the average Viking was a family man, or woman, living in a wooden longhouse, tending animals, growing barley, and telling epic tales by firelight. They believed in fate and the gods, but also in honor, loyalty, and glory. Death in battle meant a seat in Valhalla, Odin's Hall of the Fallen. They were skilled craftsmen, designing intricate jewelry, carving runes, and forging legendary weapons like the Ulfbert swords, known for their mysterious steel. And of course, those longships, marvels of engineering, sleek, fast, able to navigate oceans and rivers. A Viking ship was like a pickup truck and a Ferrari rolled into one. So what happened? How did the Viking Age end? In short, the world changed, and so did the Vikings. Christianity spread, replacing Norse paganism. The old gods faded. Viking kings began forming centralized states, turning warriors into rulers. And in 1066 AD, at the Battle of Stamford Bridge, the English king Harold Godwinson defeated the Norwegian king Harald Hardrada, often seen as the last great Viking. Ironically, that same year, William the Conqueror, himself descended from Vikings, invaded England. One Viking legacy was ending, but another was taking the throne. The Viking Age ended, but the Viking spirit never died. Today, their legacy lives on in the languages of Northern Europe, the legal systems they helped shape, place names like Dashby and Dashthorpe across Britain, and our modern fascination with Norse mythology in movies, games, and TV. The Vikings were not just raiders, they were trailblazers. Farmers, traders, poets, and pioneers who shaped the course of world history. From the fjords of Norway to the forests of Vinland, their story is one of courage, curiosity, and resilience. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through Viking history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a fellow history buff. Drop a comment. Who's your favorite Norse god or Viking legend? And remember, history isn't just about the past. It's about understanding the people who dared to shape the future.